Welcome back to the studios and episode 2 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Straight in then with building a roller coaster in this episode. I did a lot of work on the main entrance last time. This coaster is going to be a massive highlight to the entrance. You'll walk in and see this monster of a ride, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Firstly, you can see me here selecting what trains I actually want on this coaster. You saw there I selected the B&M Floorless trains. I'm actually building a launch coaster, an LSM launch coaster using the B&M Floorless trains. Now the good thing about this game is you can actually swap over the trains. Like, you couldn't do this before, but now you can use different trains on different tracks and things, so it means that you can make some really unique rides, or in some cases it means it's better for making recreations. I know a lot of you out there like recreating rides that already exist in theme parks, and it means that you can do that a lot easier by swapping different track types and the actual vehicles that are running on them. But yeah, it's a really good feature, and you can see just here I'm starting to put the launch in. I said I was going to do a launch coaster in the last episode. Things haven't changed since I filmed that. I've got my heart set on building this, and here we go, straight in then with a launch, an LSM launch into the Cobra roll that you can see just there. Now the sort of feel that I want for this area, obviously it's a Mediterranean entrance. I started work on that in the last episode. It was coming together really nicely, and we said about building this coaster on the side, and yeah, a lot of people have commented on last week's video, over 450 comments on episode 1 of the series, so thank you to all of you for interacting with Theme Park Worldwide and our Planet Coaster series. I like to keep these things as interactive as I can do, but yeah, so many suggestions coming in for names and things, and yeah, I really appreciate that, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the episode. You can see there just going for a loop, going in. I mean, going for quite a few inversions on this, and in terms of the terrain around this area, I'm going to put more water underneath it. You're going to see lots of hills and rocks. It's not going to be flat like it is now. I'm going to put tunnels and things in, and yeah, it should be really nice. So you're coming out there, a bit of an overbank, which is quite cool, and then I want a big theming element there, what's going to interact with it, and yeah, we're going to sort of bank over now around the lake. This is kind of inspired a bit by Furious Baco at Portaventura in the fact it's got a really nice turnaround over the lake. Obviously that's a wing coaster and it's an Intamin, and this is not a wing coaster, it's Floorless and it's B&M. But that sort of style, as it's at the side of the lake, just nestled away there, this little turnaround over the water, and I'll add some water effects in there at some point in the future as well. And you'll notice how I keep bringing the camera back every so often. I zoom out a lot, and I did this in the last series when I built Volcano Springs. For me, I like to get the perspective of things looking the best it can do. I like to look at buildings and roller coasters from all different angles and see how it looks on the landscape and things, really. You know, it's not just about plonking in the ride. I wouldn't put an element in if I didn't think it looked right, and you can see me just there messing about with it quite a lot. So yeah, you come around that little bank section and then up into a little bit of an airtime hill, and you can see here that's going to be a tunnel. I'll dig that out in just a few minutes time, you'll see me doing that. But yeah, it looks good so far in terms of the coaster. I did a lot of messing about with this ride, hence why I sped up the footage. This probably took about 90 minutes for me to just do the track on this one. It's not ridiculously long, but I did a lot of messing about, and obviously I like to focus mainly on the theming element to my parks and rides, as you saw with the last series. And yeah, you know, I wanted to get the coaster built, get it done as good as I could do, and yeah, move on with doing the landscaping and theming for this, really. But I'm not the best coaster builder in the world. I don't intend to be the best coaster builder out there doing Planet Coaster. You know, I just like to experiment with it, really, and just see how things go. And you'll see me later on use the smoothing tool, and don't get me wrong, I've certainly got a lot better at building roller coasters than when I first started playing the game, but for me it's more about the scenery objects and making it look nice than it is about all the different elements on the coaster. But don't get me wrong, I'm going to be doing some big rides throughout this series, and this is not even going to be the biggest coaster in the park, and this is still quite a good size when you see this complete in just a couple of moments. So yeah, just talking about how it's going to fit into the area again, it's kind of going to be a bit like if you've been to Islands of Adventure over in Florida, which is at Universal, and yeah, you walk in there, you've got the Hulk coaster, which is just on the left hand side when you come in down the entrance street, and it looks really nice there. Obviously it's green because of the Incredible Hulk. I nearly said the Incredible Hulk then, but yeah, it's a green colour, and it stands out really nice on the entrance, and it just fits in really well with it all. That's kind of what I want to do here. Obviously the colour schemes of this is going to be blue. I've already set the colour scheme, and you notice the supports are the same colour as all the buildings in this area as well. The next episode, episode 3, is going to be all about the details on the buildings. In this episode, you'll see me do all the terrain and landscaping around the coaster, and you can start to see me doing that now by putting in the water underneath, and then now putting in hills and tunnels. I just don't like any coaster to look flat. There's a lot of roller coasters, especially over in the States, where they are flat or they're built on car parks. I mean, when I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain a few years ago, 2015 I went there, and it's well worth checking out the vlog to see my reactions to going on all them rides the first time. Went out there with a few of the others, and it was excellent. It was a brilliant trip. But some of the rides, it's literally built on a car park. I mean, you've got Scream, which is a roller coaster there, and it's built over the car park. You can see where the footers have been placed on it. And you've got like all the road markings and all the lines from the parking bays underneath, which stuff like that for me, yeah, I suppose you get a bit of character seeing it like that. I mean, I'd heard a lot about car park coasters and things, but that's taking it to the extreme. I mean, I think Silver Star at Europa Park, that's a bit of a car park coaster, if you've ever seen that or watched it in one of our vlogs, because it runs straight down the middle of the car park, but it still fits in because it's an F1 theme ride, you know, it's all about racing and stuff. So it does fit in, luckily, with that theme, very loosely, but it does fit in. And obviously it's sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, and it's got like all the area underneath where Mercedes do all their sponsorship and things. But yeah, you know, I want this ride here to fit in really nicely with it all. I don't want it to just be plain and like a car park coaster, so to speak. And you can see here the queue line I'm putting a lot of thought into as well, in terms of digging down underneath the LSM launch. Now I just basically want to make it more exciting, more interesting, this one. Now, after experiencing Wicker Man at Alton Towers numerous times now, I've been on the new wooden coaster over 30 times. I love it to bits. Alton Towers have done a great job. But a big part of it for me is the queue line and the overall experience. You walk up the queue line to Wicker Man and you can look over to the coaster, you can get some really good shots of it. If you look through some of the gaps in the fencing, you can get a really nice view of it coming out of the station before it even goes up the lift hill. I mean, it would have been nice if they put a bit of perspex there or something so you could see it a lot better. But don't get me wrong, you get some great views, and that's made me think about this park a lot more after looking at the likes of Wicker Man and even Nemesis at Alton Towers. That opened back in 1994, but Nemesis is still one of the best queue lines I've ever seen at a theme park, mainly because it runs right under the coaster. It's not flat, it's got hills, it's got steps, you're going up and down, and then of course you get to see the stall turn and the vertical loop, which looks stunning from up the top end of the queue line before you walk into the station. So that's kind of the effect I've gone for with this queue line here. There will be another indoor section. You can see me starting to add that now by doing the walls and things. A lot of these walls are just a basis to where they're going to go. Some bits might change and things in the next episode, but that's all about putting in the windows and details. I want to make the buildings even more detailed in this series than I did the last one, especially with this being, it's not going to be as big a park of Volcano Springs, nowhere near, but it's going to be quite action-packed. And talking of action, let's talk about the theme of this coaster just here. So I looked at a lot of people's comments and things about what they thought the coaster should be. So many suggestions for names of the park. Keep those coming in. I think in the next episode, so number 3 next week, that's when I'm going to actually name this park and start to think about that. And like I say, it's not going to be long until I open it. I'm going to open it with just a few rides and let people come in, flood in and see it all. But yeah, so keep your name suggestions coming in on the comments on this video. If you commented on the last video with a name, then don't feel like you have to put it again on this one. I did see all your comments on the last one. I've got all them saved. I've got a Word document with all my favourite names saved in and the YouTube channels that actually suggested them. So thank you so much for being interactive and doing that. So you can see just here now I'm starting to put in a tunnel. This is for the Cobra roll dust here and that airtime hill underneath it. I just want to give it a really nice bit of interaction there. And again, much like say the Smiler at Alton Towers, that's got the Marmalizer. Wicker Man, that's got the big, obviously 60-foot tall Wicker Man statue what you go through. This is going to be like a big building what you go through, which is going to be really heavily themed and full of special effects. And that leads me on to talk about the theme of this coaster. Now obviously this is a movie movie-based park. And there might not be a lot of movie-based props and things yet, but you'll see that in just a couple of minutes' time when I do a bit more theming on this coaster. But yeah, what I'm thinking is with the theme for this, it's going to be like a backlot sort of effects coaster, and I would like you guys to come up with a name, so it's not actually going to be themed to a movie directly. Obviously we've got the Tram Tour next door, which is suitable for everyone. It's a family ride suitable for everyone. This is obviously a 1.4 metre tall thrill coaster, and you know, for the teenagers and adults, but I'd like it to have the same sort of feel as the Tram Tour would, in the fact that you're going to see big set pieces of different things going on. And yeah, I just want it to have that sort of interactive feel on this ride. So that's one that I'm going to continue with in terms of putting in lots of different set pieces around the ride. And it'd be like a backlot tour coaster, backlot coaster, so to speak. And you queue up through all these different props and things. We're going to put some vehicles and stuff around the side, a bit of lighting, a bit of camera equipment, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, have it that sort of style. So yeah, it's not directly a movie-based coaster. It's more fitting in with the studio's theme, fitting in with this Mediterranean theme that I've got going on here with the entrance, and obviously some really good landscaping as well. But yeah, you'll see just here I'm going to carry on doing some landscaping around the coaster. I'll leave you a few minutes with some more theme park music. See if you can guess what the music's from actually in this episode. I think some of you might recognise it. I've actually spoke about this park in this episode earlier on. So yeah, comment below what you think the music is, and like I say, keep your suggestions coming in. I'd like a name for this. It's got like it's a backlot theme, special effects, all about that kind of stuff. And what you see me install in the next few minutes might give you some inspiration for the name. So you've enjoyed the past few minutes there of me doing some of the landscaping around this coaster. Obviously you've got all the rocks, some really nice tropical trees and shrubbery around this coaster, all fitting in with that landscaping and the tropical theme quite nicely actually. I like it. A Mediterranean style coaster at the entrance, and obviously all these buildings, the ones I'm putting in now and all the ones around the entrance street, I'll be finishing those off in the next episode and putting all the detailing on them. Like I said earlier, I want to put a lot more detailing into the buildings this time because I feel like I've got a bit better at doing the buildings since when I first started the game. And yeah, I remember doing a full episode in the last series doing one building, which was that Wild West Saloon, whereas now I'm trying to put as much as I can do into the episodes. I mean, we're on number 2 already, and look at this, it's coming on quite nicely, I think. You can see there I've got like a water tower. That's one of the special effects. I will trigger that in with the ride at a later date. I will be putting a lot more special effects in on this coaster before it opens. It was more getting the landscaping in, a few of the bigger themed items, and then thinking about smoke, mist, maybe some other water effects, and of course a little fire effect on that aircraft would look quite nice as well. That acts as a really good head chopper actually, especially when you go into that little airtime hill and then come down and dive underneath that plane, and yeah, that looks really nice, and then up into the inversion. But yeah, these buildings, what I'm putting in on the left hand side now, they're just for decorative purposes. They've got no purpose of you know, actually holding anything inside, no restaurants or restrooms or anything like that. They're literally just going to be sat there to interact with the coaster basically, same as the one that's in the middle there through the airtime hill and attached to the Cobra roll. You know, that's just there for decorative purpose, much like this helicopter what I'm putting in now. That's a little look there through some of the studio items, and I'll be showing them in a lot more detail as we go through this series, because there's some brilliant stuff DLC, and like all this tropical theme in what I've used, not so much these rocks here, but a lot of the plants and things, that all came with the adventure pack. And I've been loving your suggestions for different rides in this park. People have said a Harry Potter area would go down well. That's something I'd love to try and build, a Harry Potter area, maybe do like the Forbidden Forest or something. It'd be quite cool. And yeah, Back to the Future, that's another one that you guys have suggested. I think that's got to be done. It's one of my favourite films actually. I love that trilogy, all 3 films. What was your favourite Back to the Future if you've seen them? Comment below on this video, I'd love to know. For me, I think it's got to be Back to the Future 2. I really liked that one. I like the original, but 2 just did it for me. I really liked it. And but yeah, so moving on from that, other things you'd like to see. A lot of people said they'd like to see maybe like a Marvel, a futuristic area. That's something I'll consider at some point. If I don't do Marvel, I'll definitely do something futuristic. But the next area, what I'm going to be going into is a completely different theme to this. Obviously, all this is tropical. When we move a bit further back, I'm going to be doing like a New York style streets area, like New York, San Francisco, LA, all them kind of streets I want to be doing all around the back. A bit like the streets of America that used to be at Walt Disney World in Hollywood Studios. I don't know if any of you ever walked around there. I was lucky enough, I only first went to Florida in 2014, believe it or not. And if you watch that vlog from when I first went in September 2014, I walked all around those streets for the first time, and I was lucky enough to see it before it closed, literally a few weeks after I came back to make way for Toy Story Land and also Star Wars Land, which are both being built at the moment. Toy Story Land opens in June this year, and I'll be going out there in September. Me and the milkman, Alex, are going out there in September, and I can't wait to that and see it all. And Star Wars Land's opening next year, and I'll definitely get to Star Wars Land in 2019. As much as I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, what they're going to do with the area is going to be stunning, and much like the Wisdom World of Harry Potter and Pandora the World of Avatar, I think it'll be some of the best, most immersive theming there is out there in the world. So I'll be going to one of them next year, either Disneyland in California's or back to Florida to see Star Wars Land. There you go. It's an exclusive in this Let's Play. Just before we end this episode then, here's a little look at some of the more details that I'm putting in. You got some of the camera trolleys and all that kind of stuff. A few different animatronics and things there, some random flight cases and stuff. And yeah, in the next episode, I'll carry on with this level of detailing, and even more so with doing all the buildings around the area. Keep commenting below with your name ideas for both the park and this coaster. It's got a backlot effects style feel to it, and so keep them comments coming in, and of course any suggestions you've got for this park going forward. A lot of you wanted more POVs in the last series. You know, I'm going to make sure I deliver that, so I'm going to end this episode right now with a full POV of this coaster. Bear in mind there's still a few more bits still to come. Hope you enjoy it. I'm Sean Sandbrook, thanks for watching episode 2, and I'll see you in the next episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster. Hold on tight and enjoy the ride.